Ready? Laser focus. I had a father I noticed, even though he wasn't a teacher as profession, he always gave lessons, always wanted to teach, and that's something that was instilled upon me.
All eyes are always focused on School 22's Jordan Addison.
So I kind of observe what they have and what they lack, and the whole thing is discipline, because when you're disciplined within yourself, things are much easier. And instead of me trying to control kids, I teach them to control themselves. I want to call on two people. You're sitting up straight, you're showing eye contact, and your voice is off. It's hard to focus when you're talking. It's hard to focus when you're not looking at the person. And it's hard to focus when your body posture is, not how it should be. I'm going to attempt to see how many sandwiches I can make based on your directions.
Discipline and a little fun are sandwiched together for today's lesson.
Movement is key. Controlled movement is also key, and they have a lot of energy. It says, get the peanut butter on the bread. So, okay, I'm just gonna get the peanut butter and put it on the bread.
He makes us smart. He makes us read clearly. He helps us with everything that we needed help for.
He helps me get better with my behavior and my academical stuff.
So now I want to take my 2 pieces of bread. It's one thing to teach kids, it's another thing to mold them. I would like to say I'm doing both. Our mission is to become better students and better people, and I like to think that I'm doing both. Fantastic. And that is how you make a sandwich.
I felt really drawn to counseling because I've just always had that desire to help people.
Julie Rosetti always knew she wanted to work with kids in school.
It really was like a dream come true.
It took several years, but she finally got her opportunity at Edison Tech.
It was exciting, overwhelming, kind of something I was determined, but I thought might never happen. So, it was a long journey to get here, but everything that I did leading up to this, I really felt prepared me to be in this position this year. We can sit down and I can look at a transcript and I can see all Fs, but I know there's more going on there than just a student who doesn't care. With restorative work, you can really connect with students, learn more about them and hear their stories. And you can do that in a circle setting, you can do that one-on-one, you have so many opportunities to get to know students before just looking at their grades or their report cards or their schedule.
I talked to him this morning.
Meeting kids where they're at and understanding that they're not going to be able to learn and be in a classroom setting until you meet the needs that might be coming in from home or from the community or just other things that they've experienced in terms of trauma. So first round, I want to know what's something that you hope to accomplish this year? Bringing them in and just starting with that, how you doing? How's your day going? Like just the simplest open-ended question like that can really change a kid's day just if no one else has really checked in with them yet, I heard a lot of focus on academics. It's a huge pat on the back and a huge confidence boost that what I'm doing is good and what I'm doing is recognized as best practice, and yeah, it just feels awesome.
Let's see what you guys doing. I always wanted to be in special ed, so the right moment, the opportunity came.
Marlene Crawford Plunkett has been a special education substitute for years.
I talked to them about perseverance, never give up.
She struggled to pass the New York State exam.
It was difficult for me because I grew up in Jamaica and most of my schooling was there. And to apply that, taking the New York State exam, it was just different. And to me, it was hard. So who's right here? I use me as an example when they struggle in your test, when you're taking New York State tests, and I give them breaks and time to do it. So, to let them know, just perseverance. At the end, you will be happy. I played this weekend with my son, so this was...
Hands-on lessons teach spelling, critical thinking, and collaboration.
It's easier to get them more motivated when you do a hands-on.
She also teaches trust.
I bring in breakfast in the morning for my students, and we sit and have family-style breakfast. We discuss what they, stuff they do on the weekend, if they have any issue before we start the day. I'm a mother, And I explained to them, I might not love you the same way I love my children, but I care about you. And once you build relationship with students and build that trust, then you could start teaching them, and then they'll listen. But without a relationship and without trust, there's nothing.
Guys being quiet today?
Seeing their smiling faces, and when I walk down the hallway, them wanting a hug or saying, "Hi, Miss Kawkins," and being so happy.
Alicia Kawkins sees kids from preschool through 8th grade at School 45.
How is everyone doing today?
I have a huge range of students in different ages that have different needs. So we're working on taking turns in conversation and maintaining a topic in conversation. That's something that has been a very big challenge for them, and going forward, going into the work field eventually, life skills, those are things that they need to have.
We're gonna make a list of different subtopics you could talk about to stay on topic.
This speech pathologist is relatable, patient, and easy to learn from.
I feel like the kids really appreciate the love and the support that we can give them.
Hang on one second. Yamel had one. Can you share it nice and loud?
A new teacher who inspires.
I'm just open to learning and giving it everything I have. The kids are seriously everything. I love coming to work because they make me so happy every day, and they always put a smile on my face even if it's been a rough day or they're giving me a hard time. I mean, it always ends up being worth it at the end for the kids.
What we like about the movie, what we don't like about it.
Tomorrow is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Excellent. Thank you for being brave and coming up.
Learning specialist Terry Fitch began her career as a music teacher.
My students present with multiple disabilities, so rather than just one diagnosis, they may have 2, 3, or 4.
She went back to the classroom as a mother and a teacher with a new perspective.
I have 4 children of my own, and when I had children, I decided to stay home. It just so happened that my children have special needs as well, and so we live a special ed life. At home is what we call it. When I decided to go back to teaching, I decided to concentrate on special ed. Who did you spend time with? How to best create a classroom where they feel secure, confident, and they're willing to take the risk of learning, rather than just a classroom where they were babysat. I wanted them to have a really rich environment. Can I read your star? Wait, that's your WWF one, huh? I wanted to be there to be that soft landing for them, but also to show that these kids can have rigorous learning, they can have high output, and sometimes they're just not given the chance.
Fitch wants the same goals for all of her children.
That they're working, they're living as independently as possible, that they're financially secure, that they're able to achieve their dreams, and that they have a community around them that supports them and believes in them. That's my goal. Cloudy with rain, better change your symbol.
All right, let's get those feet moving. It's just a fun age. They're so loving. They're so open to new things and learning, and there's just so many different ways through play that we can engage them.
Second-year kindergarten teacher Angelina Mauis is a breath of fresh air.
So I use Class Tag. It's an app where I can send my parents pictures. I can set up announcements if they ever want to volunteer, and it's really like interactive. So they can reach out to me, I can reach out to them. Say cheese. It's a quick way to, if I'm missing a student, or hey, is everything okay? Are they okay today? Or the parents to contact me. So I enjoy it.
Her classroom interaction stretches beyond these walls.
Like if we're in the playground and they're throwing leaves or they're exploring, I can send a picture to that. All parents can see, write a little note and so forth. Everyone say, I can. Parents are a big part of my classroom. That's the first place they learn, and I want to make that connection that they know I speak to mommy and daddy. Mommy and daddy are a part of this. We're working together. It's not just me, it's us. So keeping that family, School 5, we're a family.
You have an excellent A. Look at those curves. You're doing a great job right now.
Some parents had really negative experiences with teachers or school, and I kind of want to break that barrier in a sense. So I think it's important for them to know me to know them, and help me better meet their needs, because they know their kids better than anyone else, and it will help me in the classroom to teach them and support them and love on them in the way that they need it.
Your first day, you just get thrown into it and really have no idea what to expect.
Science teacher Anthony Lupia felt the heat and pressure in September.
Well, we're going to do a lab. It is a model of the rock cycle.
He now finds a way to change things up to reach his kids.
We're going to be using starbursts to model that. What do you notice about the starburst? They're broken down. Science, to me, is the explanation of the world. If we're cutting up our rock, we're technically weathering the starburst or weathering the rock. I like to try to incorporate hands-on activities as much as possible, especially at this age. A lot of them need that. What do we think we're gonna do with it in this tinfoil boat? We're gonna melt it. I work tirelessly to create content that the students want to engage with, and that's really my ultimate goal. I want to make science class fun. We're gonna make a little boat. They love starburst, so we'll have something to eat after too.
He learns the students. He wouldn't just guess by like the way they act in like a certain class. He takes his time to learn his students, so him being a learner, it makes it more fun.
Sometimes of figuring out who you are, and I think that's what a lot of our students are going through, and it's a turbulent time. I just want to be here as a support and to help guide them to fulfilling their full potential. It's really just about making adjustments and trying to figure out what's best for the students. So it kind of does look like glass, doesn't it? I think I have an energy, and I think I can relate a little bit more to the students because I was just there. So I think going forward, I want to keep that in mind and try to keep the same energy and really just want to help these kids grow in every possible way.
Science rules!
So my friends, this morning our target, we're going to turn
School 45 Sarah Berry grew up with little kids. Her mom ran an in-home daycare.
It was really great to see my mom forming these relationships with so many different kids within our home.
Becoming a first grade teacher was a natural fit.
It's so exciting to see them learning new things. I love being able to be like right in the action and like getting down with them, playing with them, seeing the change in their face when like something like a new discovery.
She takes her young students to new levels, academically and personally.
Students are moving up like 3 reading levels at a time, and it's been amazing. So I have a story for you. I think it's important that we have a community here and that everybody feels that they have a role in our improvement and moving in the same direction and moving forward. So I think that a lot of that has kind of given me a presence in the building among people, which has helped them to see and like recognize the things that I'm doing. Will you make sure you put that in your writing today, because those are really good actions. A large majority of these students have trauma in their lives that are affecting their daily home life, and it's impossible not to carry that into school. Did the robots already get stolen? So I love being able to be that positive role model and help them work through things and teach them the strategies to deal with what's going on, especially at such a young age.
Mr. Scott, what's up, my man? I had a lot of great people influence me. Most of those people obviously were my educators.
U.S. history teacher Terrell Cunningham is always prepared, early, and waiting at the door.
My approach is a little different. For me, it's about setting the tone. Restate, I was a teenage father. My senior year, I had my daughter, who'll be 13 this year, and then my second year of college, I had my son. So for me, it was more so parenting while at the same time educating. I'm gonna expose you to the way I want you to be.
Structure and respect can lead to success.
You know, I'm gonna respect you, but I also expect you to respect me as well. One of the Axis powers. Ms. McCall?
Cunningham uses last names when addressing his students.
Still? Yeah, you're 13 or 14, but you're still an important person.
Sometimes after lunch, his students will come to his class and, you know, will actually learn more about what he teaches. I think it's cool.
I think we can relate more to him, and not like racially because he's black, because like some of the stuff that we go through, he went through as a child and stuff, like gun violence and stuff, living on like poorness and stuff. So that's why I think we can relate more to him and find that as comfort.
Society kind of shifted. They feel like, oh, okay, besides him, you know, looking like me, he's also relatable in the fact that, you know, he has kids. He lives in the city by choice. I bought my home in the city because I love the kids that I deal with. I want to be around, you know, my community. This is where I'm from. This is where I was born and raised. I feel like I'm affecting, you know, the world one day at a time. Does anybody have any questions? All right, here we go.
1, 2, here we go. My name is Miss Wright, and I'm the teacher. I can't hear you. Looking for my music class today.
Attendance taking is way more fun in Sarah Wright's music class.
Juliana, you better raise your hand.
Wright is getting her master's while teaching music to students in grades 3 through 8 at school number 8.
They're like, Miss Wright, you're 23, you're still in college, how are you teaching me?
Music has always been Wright's way of communicating.
Shy,
cough, ski, whee! I've been playing the flute since I was in 2nd grade, and it's just always been an escape for me. Whenever anything was really hard, if I was struggling in other subjects, I would take a breather, practice my instrument, and I would feel so much better.
Her own experiences make this room a favorite place.
They'll come down, play the drums, play a recorder, anything to get that negative energy out and then feel better again. I really focus on building relationships that first month of school, and it's really done wonders for me throughout the year.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, close. All right, take a seat, take a seat, take a seat.
Any thoughts about this chapter?
The early chapters of Carrie McCree's life started with education.
So I literally grew up going to school and visiting my parents at their respective places within RCSD.
She's the daughter of teachers, and she knew one day she would end up back in the classroom where she could have the biggest impact.
Learning with no limits and learning outside of the typical context of the curriculum that's given. I like to mix it up a little bit. Wait, what was the Underground Railroad again? Can somebody remind me? I learn something every day from the students, and I really do believe that being an active participant in the learning process along with the students. We're reading heavy content right now, and their perception of it is beyond 7th grade. Like the way that they're able to understand what we're learning and their ideas about it is just, it's mind-boggling really for a 7th grade, for 12-year-olds.
The School Without Walls graduate remembers what it's like to be sitting where her students are.
I think that connection makes it a unique experience for me as a teacher, the way that I implement the curriculum. She's kind of like a superhero, I think, okay? A real life one. I think that that's the most important part of teaching, right? Is making the content relevant, but also having that mentorship relationship with the kids to be able to give them guidance and encouragement and to, pursue their dreams and to become whatever it is that they want to become in life. Can somebody volunteer to read the first quote for me?